This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I love being here helping you with playing the guitar. In this video, we're going to take a look at major 7 sharp 11 chords. So I'll explain what those are. We'll look at a couple voicings. We'll work on using these voicings with a chord progression that will allow us to practice these in all 12 keys. We'll do that right along with bass and drums accompaniment. So it's going to be great. This video accompanies lesson 25 from my Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 method book. In the book, we're going to start on page 173. As I explain these chords. We'll also take a look at page 175 where you can see diagrams for these chords, just like I have up here on the board. And then we're going to jam together on the chord progression from page 146, chord progression number 1. Okay, so we've been learning a lot recently in the lesson series about adding ninths to any type of 7th chord that we've learned before. Major 7ths, dominant 7ths, minor 7ths, and minor major 7ths. We've also learned how we could add the 9th to a 6th chord. So we had 6 9 chords, both major and minor. So this series continues on here into lesson 25 in the book, where we learn about how we can add 11ths and 13ths to these 7th chords as well. And we can do that in addition to the 9th, or we don't have to have the 9th there. So we're going to learn about these in this video. We're looking at major 7 sharp 11 chords. So major 7 sharp 11 chords have the root, the 3rd, the 5th, though I'm going to say it's almost always omitted. We can't always get all these pitches happening in the voicings that we play on the guitar, but in theory it does have the 5th, though in practice we rarely actually play the 5th with a sharp 11 chord. But we got the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and then the major 7th. All of those come right out of the steps of the major scale: 1, 3, 5, and 7. Then we learned how we could add the 9th, which is step 2, 1 octave higher, and now we're learning about the sharp 11, which is the 4th step of the scale, sharped, so it's a sharp 4, up 1 octave, and we get the sharp 11. We could add the natural 11 in, but the natural 11 conflicts with the 3rd of the chord. So we usually choose to borrow the sharp 11 from the Lydian mode, actually, which is a mode that comes off of step 4 in a key. But we're not getting into modes here in this series, but I'm just going to say that this chord has the root, the 3rd, the 5th, though that one's usually not going to be there, and it's going to have the 7th. So it has to have the root, the 3rd, and the 7th, and then it can have the 9th. It doesn't have to, but it will have the sharp 11. So if I were to play this chord in for C and include all those pitches except for the 5th, that's what it sounds like. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous voicing, I do believe. Now, the way the chord symbols work for sharp 11 chords, you're going to see the root, then you're going to see something telling us it's a major 7th in front of the 7, so a capital letter M, M-A-J, a triangle, something like that. And then after we see that symbol telling us that we're playing a major 7th chord, you'll see sharp 11, which looks like a pound sign or a hashtag sign followed by the number 11. That would tell us that we need to have that sharp 11 in the voicing and that we're playing a major 7th voicing with that. The thing about adding these colors, and really 9ths, 11ths, and 13ths are colors that are being thrown on these 7th chords. When that happens, a lot of times we'll be playing music where we're just reading chord symbols that just are at the 7th level. Major 7th, dominant 7th, minor 7th, and so on. And we can choose to add the 9th and 11th and 13th chord voicings. We can choose to add those colors and use voicings that include those in playing those chords when we want to. So there may be times where you do that. We're actually going to do that a little bit together here in the video. But before we do, let's look at these voicings. So we have a 6th string form and a 5th string form, meaning we have one form with the root on the 6th string, we have one form with the root on the 5th string. Wherever we put this root note along the fretboard, whatever pitch we're on, that's the version we're playing. So I'll demonstrate this first one here with a C. So the C, we have a C at the 8th fret of the 6th string. I'm put my middle finger on that note. And then ring and pinkies are 1 fret higher from the root, and they are on the 4th and 3rd strings, so we have our major 7th chord. And then the sharp 11 is played 1 fret lower on the 2nd string with our index finger, and we get a major 7 sharp 11 without the 5th or the 9th in that voicing. So that's how that one works. Now the 5th string form, with this one, we're going to put our middle finger, I'll just do it in the same position. So that's going to be on an F pitch on the 5th string, putting my middle finger at the 8th fret. Index finger goes 1 fret lower on the next string. Pinky goes 1 fret higher than the root on the 3rd string. And then ring finger goes in the same fret as the root on the 2nd string. And our index finger has to come over and catch that sharp 11 on the high string in the same fret that it catches it right here for the 3rd of the chord, and we get a nice major 7 sharp 11 chord, F major 7 sharp 11. Now with this one we do have the 9th included in the voicing, so it's nice to have that 9th when we can. Some voicings we can, some we can't. We just don't have enough fingers or enough strings. So once you've kind of figured out how to do that, it's a good idea. You can just practice going back and forth between these 2 voicings, trying to get comfortable with finding them. The chord progression that we're going to jam on is number 1, found on page 146. This one comes from lesson 22. In lesson 22, we worked on just the 7th chords. You can actually go back through any of the progressions in lesson 22 and throw in for major 7th chords these voicings. You can practice these voicings with any of those chord progressions that you'd like to, where you're practicing the major 7th chords. We're just going to work on number 1. We're going to do it at 3 different tempos, kind of a slower tempo, a little bit faster, and then even faster yet. And I'm just going to use this do dot strumming pattern. It should be a familiar, easy strumming pattern for us, so we can play right along with the bass and drums using that one. That'll keep the focus on finding the chord in our left hand. Now this chord progression goes around the circle of 4, so we've done this before, but you could warm up if you need to, just going back and forth, finding all these chords. So once we found C and F, then we go down 2 frets and do B flat and E flat. Then we go down 2 frets and do A flat and D flat. Then we got to slide up for G flat. Then we go down for B and E, so down 2 frets. And then we go down 2 frets for A and D. And we go down 2 frets for G and C, and it's simple as that, only we'll have that strumming pattern happening when you're ready as we play along with the bass and drums. So it's going to be great. Let's go ahead and play this. Okay, awesome. In the next video, we are going to take a look at major 13th chords. So how we can add the 13th to the chord as well. It's going to be great. Take care, and I'll see you again.
Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.